Mary Slaney, certainly sure of herself and has her sights set on some big goals here this Olympic year. This is a seldom run event, the 2,000 meters. Marichica Puica of Romania has the world record. Puica won the Olympic gold in the 3,000 meters in '84 when Slaney fell. We see the rest of the field. Ann Hare and Buffy Rabbit included in this field, which means we'll definitely have a rabbit to start out this race.
But really no need for a pacemaker. Mary likes to lead races like that.
All right, so Mary, in fact, does indeed move out in front, and this is always her style.
Certainly in races here in the United States where she rarely has top-flight competition. There's some good runners in this race, but you can see they're already conceding the race to Mary Slaney. They're going to let her go and run. They've heard talk of a world record attempt, perhaps. They're just going to stay back and run their own pace.
This will be 5 laps of the track, this 2,000-meter run. You mentioned the world record. How realistic is that today, given the fact that Mary has not had much competition lately?
One side of it is that, Jim. She's only run 2 races in the last 2 years. This is her 3rd. The other side of it is all world records are in jeopardy anytime Mary Slaney steps on the track. She herself has not predicted a record in this event, but if you figure that the record requires someone to run a 4:25 mile and continue about 1 more lap at the same pace, that's well within her reach. She's run a 4:16 mile.
And nearing the end of the first lap, she is under world record pace here, Craig.
Well, she's gone out very quickly, and she has a good rhythm going. You can see she's very relaxed, and her stride looks easy, and she's more than a second under that world record pace. This is the way she likes to go out there. She always goes out a bit faster.
Mary has a 2-year-old daughter, Ashley, born in May of 1986. And Craig, there have been discussions that other runners have been more effective on the track after childbirth.
Ingrid Christensen of Norway holds every world record from 5,000 to the marathon. Valerie Briscoe won 3 gold medals at the 1984 Olympics. Both were not big stars before they had children, big stars afterwards, and no one really knows why. With Mary Decker Slaney, we haven't been able to test whether that theory will be true after her child, because last year she had surgery on her right Achilles tendon. She missed the whole season.
Now, that operation on her right Achilles was the 8th operation she's undergone during her career.
She's now passed 2 laps, and we see that, the world record pace, 2:11.4, and she's just about right on that. As we see the split, right on it, 2:11.4, so she's still on world record pace, and she looks pretty good right now. She's still flowing. She's pulling away still from the rest of the field.
Last year, she missed the World Championships in Rome. She has, of course, an enormous amount of international competition all the way back to 1974. But does she miss anything, missing out on that World Championship last year?
Well, certainly missing a chance to test her fitness against the best in the world. As we see her here, not flowing quite as smoothly as before. She's not staggering by any means, but she's lost a little bit of that rhythm. By not running last year, of course, first of all, she couldn't defend her 2 World Championship titles of 1983, and it must have been frustrating for her to sit at home and see other athletes progress, take her place on the world scene, if you will. But she's an experienced competitor who's come back so many times from injuries, and a holder of 5 world records, 21 American records over the years. Certainly, she knows how to get herself ready for this Olympic challenge.
She has now slipped behind the world record pace through 3 laps.
Well, now I think she's not thinking, as you see Richard, her husband, giving her a split time there. She's not thinking record at all anymore, I wouldn't think. She just wants to go ahead, have a good effort. As we said, only her 3rd race in the last 2 years. She's looking ahead to the Olympic trials, and she told us she's only just started her speed training, her interval training that gets her ready to race. She's looking towards the fall. The Olympics aren't until September, you have to remember. She doesn't want to be too sharp now. She might peak too early if she does too much speed training now. She's got to hedge her bets, and that may hurt her at the trials. We may even see an upset. We saw Vicky Huber at the NCAA Championships looking very strong, very fast. The Villanova junior, who may give Mary a good run in the 3,000 meters at the Olympic trials.
In 1984, Slaney competed only in the 3,000 meters at the Olympics. She says this year she will attempt to qualify in the 3,000 meters and then perhaps the 1,500 as well.
Really depends how she feels. If she comes up to 1 lap to go, She says, after the 3,000 meters, I've made the team. If I feel good, if my legs aren't bothering me, I'll go and try the 1,500 meters as well.
This is the final lap, and it's Mary Decker Slaney all the way. That's Mary Knisely in second. Knisely was the Pan Am champion and a contender this year to make the U.S. team in the 3,000 meters.
Well, you saw Mary Slaney look over her shoulder just to check, just to see where Mary Knisely was. Knisely's a very good runner, but now Slaney's pulling away again. She seems to be back in her rhythm. That's the competitor in her. She always runs well on the last lap.
Mary Slaney, she's hoping this will be the year she finally strikes Olympic gold. This today, certainly not an exciting race at all. But Craig, what does she walk away learning about this? A race she will win from start to finish.
Well, she knows she needs more work on her speed, that's for sure. And she knows that with every race, she'll become more race fit. Physically, she says she's never felt so good, certainly not in years. Mentally, she still has some work to do.
Mary Slaney, the winner of the women's 2,000 meters. On this day in San Diego, it was Mary Slaney sailing to victory in the women's 2,000 meters. Let's go to Irv.
Mary, the time I just heard on your effort this afternoon was 5:36.65. Not a world record effort, but how do you react to that time?
Well, I think it's okay. I would have liked to have run faster, but I have to remember that this is only my third track race in 2 years, and it takes a little bit of racing to get in racing condition. And I think not being on the track for so long has caused me to be a little lackadaisical later in the races, and I think I've got plenty of time to work through that, which I plan to do. I think the trials will help a lot because there's a lot of prelims and semis and finals and stuff, but it sure feels good just to be back out here.
Well, it's good to see you on the track, too. You know, we're going over all the things you had done last night in one of our meetings, and said, my gosh, it's hard to believe that Mary Decker Slaney, after all these years of being on top in the world of track and field, has never won, not a gold, not a silver, not a bronze, nothing ever in the Olympics. Do you think about that?
I think about it all the time, especially this year because it is Olympic year. And part of the reason I'm not running really fast just yet is because I'm training extremely hard at the moment and still coming off of my strength training, and I haven't done any sharpening work. So I'm looking forward to doing the fast stuff so I can start running fast.
Okay. What do you plan to run in the Olympics?
Well,
What's your events?
Primarily the 3,000. But at this point, I am going to go to the Olympic trials with a double in mind. And after the 3,000, I'll see how I feel and how things go. And if everything in my lower legs is A-okay, then I'll go on and try the double.
If you do that, do you think this again will be your year?
It's got to be my year. Olympic-wise, it's got to be my year. It's, you know, I really want it.
Mary, it's really good to see you back on the track.
Thanks, sir.
Congratulations.